Hello, friends and viewers. Tristan is officially announced as our next debut banner. In this video, let's review and analyze some pieces of her skill kit. For my usual disclaimer, this is not a character guide. This is a preliminary analysis of Tristan's characteristics and skills prior to her global release. My goal is to help you understand what Tristan will bring to Sword of Convallaria's current character roster. Skill and gear interactions will be tested and reviewed after release, or someone smarter and with more experience than me will correct me. The stat and skill information throughout this video is courtesy of the No Potion website. Starting off with the basics, Tristan is an axe-wielding destroyer. She deals single target physical damage, but deals AoE magic damage via her trait. Tristan has a base speed of 185, which is relatively average for melee destroyers such as Dantalion and Guzman. This makes her base speed lower than Breakers, but higher than Seekers. She takes Guzman's spot for highest base physical attack in the game, and she also comes in second for the highest base HP in the game as well. Tristan is part of the Night Crimson, Union, and Aggression categories. This means she'll benefit from Layla's, Gloria's, and Nona Will's unique leader's auras. Tristan's trait is Crimson Fury. For passive effects, she deals increased damage to enemies with shields, and her AoE damage is magical instead of physical. She possesses Crimson Fury at the start of battle, which is an active ability that can only be used once per battle. Crimson Fury, the active ability, sacrifices 90% of her current HP and deals 50% damage to enemies within 2 tiles of her. She can act again and enters Berserk State, a buff. Tristan gains toughness and immunity to disrupt debuffs. It increases her damage by 25% and reduces healing received by 80%. It increases crit and crit damage at star level 2 or higher, and the buff lasts for 2 to 4 turns depending on star level. Casting Crimson Fury also resets her skill cooldowns and recovers her energy. That means this is best used mid-battle to best capitalize on the cooldown reset and energy recovery. This will also reset the cooldown of trinkets with instant effects such as Flying Blade Armguard and Roaring Flint. Her initial skill is Explosive Luxite Dust. This is a 2 energy cost with no cooldown. It deals magic damage via her trait and inflicts 1 random level 2 attribute debuff. Fervent Lunge and Blazing Blood are her rank 3 options. You will most likely use a Castalia at this rank. Fervent Lunge and its follow-up, Fervent Headbutt, is a combo skill comprised of 2 instant abilities. Fervent Lunge requires a target location to charge and grants Tristan a damage 2 buff for 1 turn. Fervent Headbutt requires a target enemy to charge and knock them back. Tristan has a base movement of 3 tiles, so this skill helps with her mobility. Recall these are both instant skills, so you can cast both in a single turn. Just be a bit mindful of positioning to follow up with damage after Fervent Headbutt's knockback. Blazing Blood allows Tristan to benefit from magic attack to increase her damage. With toughness from her trait, Tristan will do more damage the less health she has. You should still prioritize physical attack, but magic attack rolls from engravings and tarots will add some power value. Street Style and Defense Range Attack are her rank 5 reaction options. Street Style is melee damage mitigation and further reduces damage taken from preempts and strikebacks while following up with additional damage herself. Defense Range Attack is ranged damage mitigation. Range damage often comes from Watchers, her counter, Destroyers, and some Breakers. Both are strong in their own situations. It is also completely valid to spend a Castalia for the attack stat gains. One Punch Burial and Controlled Demolition are her rank 7 options. One Punch Burial initiates with minor single target damage and knockback, then follows up with magic AoE damage. When not in Berserk State, this ability teleports Tristan to the closest ally within 4 tiles, allowing her to disengage. Controlled Demolition marks a target on an enemy. If the enemy is hit by Tristan with any non-gear skill, it will trigger an explosion at the start of Tristan's next turn. The explosion deals 20% of HP as AoE piercing damage and inflicts Vulnerable 2. Both execute different types of damage, magic AoE versus piercing AoE, so either can excel in different mutation situations. It's absolutely reasonable to consider both abilities. Family and Destructive Storm are Tristan's rank 11 options. Family adds group utility and group buffs, but there is some risk associated to be mindful of. When Tristan is healthy, with unlimited resolve and toughness, Tristan can be built to tank some damage, and with Blazing Blood, she deals more damage the less health she has. When Tristan is dying, while this skill may save her from death, the same cannot be said for the character who performs assisting cover. If Tristan is dying with this skill, you will need to be mindful of unit positioning and who is in proximity of Tristan. Destructive Storm is the same ability in Dantalian's skill tree. Compared to Explosive Luxite Dust, her initial skill, this covers a larger radius and inflicts an additional debuff, but deals less damage, has higher energy cost, and a cooldown. Neither option will likely be part of a regular skill kit, but it is reasonable to use Castalia here for the attack stat gains. Next, we have her signature trinket, Blood Luxite Amulet. As Tristan deals more damage, the less HP she has, she will have the most mileage from this trinket. Keep in mind Tristan only deals magic damage when she casts AoE abilities. In single target scenarios, you should substitute for another trinket. Other AoE magic damage dealers, such as Momo and Beryl, can use this trinket just fine, but they are less likely to utilize the dying increases. To answer some potential questions you may have, will Tristan replace one of your destroyers? As iterated, Tristan deals single target physical damage and AoE magic damage. Compared to Guzman and Dantalian, fellow destroyers in her speed category, she is more mobile with Fervent Lunge and can more easily dish out AoE damage. Compared to Guzman, Tristan is more tanky only during Crimson Fury. Compared to Dantalian, Tristan's playstyle is on the front line against multiple enemies, whereas Dantalian can bring single target damage from range. Will Tristan replace August? The two are different classes and different speed categories. Tristan is more mobile than August and brings primarily AoE magic damage. August is physical only. That said, nothing is ever stopping you from fielding both on the battlefield as well. Who to play Tristan with? Gloria or Nona for their leaders' auras are a reasonable starting point. Regardless of Tristan's own mobility via Fervent Lunge, she still has a base move of 3 tiles. External movement buffs won't hurt, such as from Gloria or Homa. When using her to deal single target physical damage, she will do more damage on enemies with physical defense debuffs. On the other hand, when using her to deal AoE magic damage, she will do more damage on enemies with magic defense debuffs. Therefore, Homa or Karis, depending on the damage situation, are fair options. Should you pull for Tristan? Tristan joins the character roster with the highest base physical attack and has a unique quality of also benefiting from magic attack for power increases, with August and Alexei being the other unique characters. With her trait, Tristan will excel in burst damage. Some skill expression includes having her deep dive into enemies and optimizing her Crimson Fury ability, but also being strategically proactive with pulling her back from danger. Additionally, if you come across a Blood Luxite Amulet, while it can still be used on other AoE magic damage dealers, Tristan is the best candidate for this item. This is my work-in-progress pocket guide. Tuning Hammer, Gale Sword, and Brutal Axe are all reasonable weapon options. Blood Luxite Amulet is worthwhile to consider at higher star level. Flying Blade Armguard and Roaring Flint are fine options, especially with their cooldowns being reset from Crimson Fury. Otherwise, Maverick's Cloak and Origin Hourglass are good options as passive power increases. Remember, Tristan will wholly benefit from Origin Hourglass with the Blazing Blood passive as well. For Taros, Magician, Verdict of Justice, and Devil are all strong options depending on their stat rolls and map type. This concludes my pre-release character analysis of Tristan. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know your thoughts and questions in the comments below, and best of luck on your pulls.